All right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing some Kydex projects today, and I have two knives I'm working on. Well, one I finished and the other one was made by a friend, so I thought I'd help him make a Kydex sheath. We have a karambit and then we have a hunter design. So typically I'll start with putting tape over the blade, both sides of the blade, and this will actually prevent any scratching or anything like that when we go to use the Kydex. And in my experience using the tape, it kind of helps create a better fit when you go to mold the pieces together. So when I cut my pieces out, I always start with a fresh sheet of Kydex. And the way I cut them out in two pieces. And I envision a good 1-inch border around the entire knife. If you've never worked with Kydex before, it's actually surprisingly easy. A few scores with the razor and you can pretty much bend and break the pieces off without having to use any crazy equipment to cut it. So here's what they look like with the pieces. And typically at around 350 or so, it becomes very pliable. I leave it in there about a minute. This is my homemade device. It's just some foam with a wooden wedge. And I'll lay the pieces in there, and then I'll use C-clamps to clamp everything down. I'll come back in about 10-15 minutes once it's fully cold and not hot anymore. And it usually takes the shape of the knife pretty well. Sometimes you have to play around with it. Sometimes it requires you to do it twice. Sometimes the fit just doesn't work very well. So make sure your stuff is pliable and you clamp it down hard enough and keep it dry enough. So I did that with the other one as well, the karambit. And this one came out really tight. I think I had the pieces in there longer in the oven, so they were a little bit more workable. Once I'm done there, I typically will space out my holes for whatever clip system I'm using, and I'll cut the rest off with the bandsaw. From here, I usually just go on the sander and I clean up the perimeter, the final perimeter. And both knives had two different layouts for the carry clip. And the carry clip I'm using is a half-size, typical tech lock system where the holes are spaced evenly. So the top, I have them evenly spaced. And on the karambit, I have a different carry option where the screws are actually kind of a little bit crooked on the side. And that's so that you can carry on your belt and still have the handle look normal. So after I'm done with the holes and I have the shape done, I usually use a pencil to mark my layout lines, and it makes it easy to remove with an eraser. So I'll separate the pieces, sand all of the areas, making sure that they're nice and smooth. And then I'll do one last final fit up. And then at the very end, I will go ahead and close all the eyelets with my arbor press. And you got to be careful with these little things. Sometimes you can mess up and it takes a while to pull out the bad eyelet if you get it, squished in there the wrong way. So here's how it looks for the first knife. Nice mellow click, fits right in. So now let's go ahead and attach our carry clip. Again, this is kind of like a half-size tech lock style clip. I like how thin it is and low profile. It's not super bulky compared to some others that I've seen. So let's start on the next one. This is the karambit. And again, when I do my eyelet holes, I do them about 1/2 inch outside of the knife. So if I can take a ruler and I'll measure the perimeter from the knife outward, I measure 1 inch, and that's how I get my hole spacing. So let's do the same thing on this one. We're going to sand out all the corners, get them nice and smooth, remove all the pencil markings, And then we'll put it back together one last time. And then we'll go back on the arbor press. We'll close out all the eyelets. And that's pretty much it. Once I have this step done, it's all just about fitting. Now sometimes if it's too tight, I will remove more material. That way I can ensure a nice fit. And that's pretty much it, guys. Pretty simple. Sometimes you got to play around with it. They tend to come out differently each time depending on the style of knife or shape of knife. So, hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.